Solving system of equations, 3 variables and 3 equations. So we have to do the elimination method with these. There is no substitution method. There's no graphing. No, graphing occurs if you get into higher level math classes. But for now, we're just going to do the elimination method. So we have this system with 3 equations, 3 variables. Our 3 variables are r, s, and t. So we have negative 3r plus 4s plus 6t equals 14. 3r plus s minus t equals 1. And negative 3r minus s plus 3t equals 1. So first thing I like to do is I like to number my equations. So we have number 1, number 2, and number 3. Now your goal is to eliminate a variable between 2 equations and then do the same thing with 2 other equations. So if we look at this, again, always choose something that eliminates easily. So if we look at these 3 equations, I have a negative 3r and I have a positive 3r. That's what stands out to me first. So I'm going to choose equations 1 and equation 2. So I'm going to say negative 3r plus 4s plus 6t is going to equal 14, and positive 3r plus s minus t is going to equal 1. So we're going to add those 2 equations together. We're going to do exactly what we did with 2 variables and 2 equations. So my r's are going to cancel. 4s plus s is 5s, and 6t minus t is 5t. 14 plus 1 is 15. This is now going to become equation 4. Okay, so we're just going to put that off to the side. We're not going to touch it right now. Again, we need to eliminate the same variable again because we know how to solve 2 equations, 2 variables. So we're going to use what we know to solve these. So you can't pick the same equation. So we already chose 1 and 2. We need to pick 2 other equations and eliminate r again. So looking at these, equation 2 has 3r plus s minus t equals 1. And equation 3 has that negative 3r. So those r's are going to easily cancel again. So I'm going to choose equation 2, 3r plus s minus t equals 1. And equation 3, negative 3r minus s plus 3t equals 1. So again, we're going to add them together, and we want to cancel out that r. Well, this time, not only does our r cancel, so does our s, which is totally okay. It's going to make it easier on us. So I now have negative t plus 3t, which is going to give me 2t, and 1 plus 1 equals 2. So this is technically equation 5. Equation 5, since we just have, so equation 5, we have 2t equals 2. Since we have 1 variable, 1 equation, we can go ahead and solve it. So we're going to solve for t, and t is going to equal 1. So there is one of our answers. Now, if we took this and we plugged it back into one of our original equations, we would still have 2 unknowns. So we need to plug this into something where we're only going to have 1 unknown. So we're going to take our answer here, and we're going to plug it into equation 4. So equation 4 is 5s plus 5t equals 15. I know that t equals 1, so I'm going to substitute that in. So we'll have 5s plus 5 times 1, substituting it in, equals 15. Going and solving this, we have 5s plus 5 equals 15. Subtracting 5 from both sides. 5s is going to equal 10. and then dividing by 5, s is going to equal 2. So now we have two answers. We have t equals 1, and we have s equals 2. Once we have two answers, we're going to go back to one of our original three equations and plug those in. I'm going to go ahead and pick equation 2. I'm going to say 3r plus s minus t equals 1. So we need to solve for r, because that's our only unknown. So 3r plus 2, plugging in s equals 2, minus 1, because t equals 1, and that's going to equal 1. Combining our like terms, 3r plus 1 is going to equal 1. Subtracting 1 from both sides, 3r is going to equal 0. And then dividing by 3, r is going to equal 0. So your three answers, r equals 0, s equals 2, and t equals 1. And just like before, you can write that as an ordered pair. So 0, 2, 1. And that is your final answer. Example 2. Again, we're going to do the same thing. Automatically, I number my equations. So I have equations 1, 2, and 3. Again, I want to eliminate something that will eliminate easily. So looking at this, we have 3r minus 3s plus 6t equals negative 21. 2r plus 5s plus 3t equals negative 3. R minus 5s plus 3t equals negative 15. So nothing, well, something does jump out to me at me. If we look at equation 2 and equation 3, we can eliminate s easily. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say take equation 2, 2r plus 5s plus 3t equals negative 3. And then we're going to have r minus 5s plus 3t, and that's going to equal negative 15. Again, we're going to add those together. So here, my s's automatically cancel, plus 5 and a negative 5. I'm going to add, so 2r plus r gives me 3r, and 3t plus 3t gives me a 6t. And then negative 3 and a negative 15 gives me a negative 18. So that becomes equation 4. Again, I'm going to pick two different equations. So I already picked 2 and 3. And I need to eliminate the same variable. So this time, my only options, I can pick 1 and 3, or I can pick 1 and 2. 1 and 2 already have a positive and a negative, so I don't really have to mess around with a negative too much. I'm going to go ahead and choose equations 1 and 2. So we have 3r minus 3s plus 6t equals negative 21, and 2r plus 5s plus 3t is going to equal negative 3. So now we have to change both equations. So 3 and 5, this is what variable I need to eliminate. 3 and 5, their number that's in common is 15. So I'm going to multiply my first equation by 5 and my second equation by 3. So when I do that, we're going to have 15r minus 15s plus 30t, and that's going to equal negative 105. Same thing, 3 times 2r is going to give me 6r. 3 times 5 is going to give me a plus 15s. 3 times 3 is going to give me a 9t. And 3 times negative 3 is going to give me a negative 9. So if we go and add these two equations in green together.
Patty Treadway, can you please call Ms. Legg at extension 5300? Patty Treadway, please call Ms. Legg at 5300. Thank you.
So adding, my S's are going to cancel. 15 and 6 is going to give me 21R. 30 and 9 is going to give me 39T. And negative 105 and negative 9 is going to give me negative 114. And that's going to become equation 5. So now equation 4 and equation 5 have an R and a T in them. We're going to go ahead and combine those together. So 3R plus 6T is going to equal negative 18. 21R plus 39T is going to equal negative 114. Okay, so looking at this, my R's, I know they have something in common. I'm going to eliminate my R. In order to do that, I need to multiply my first equation by negative 7. So that's going to give me negative 21R minus 42T, and that's going to equal 126. So now adding these together, my R's cancel. 39 minus 42 is negative 3. Negative 114 plus 126 is going to give me 12. So now I can go ahead and solve that. Divide both sides by negative 3. T is going to equal a negative 4. So now that I have that answer, I'm going to take it and plug it back into equations 4 or 5, either one. I'm going to pick 4 because it has smaller numbers. It's easier to deal with. So I'm going to say 3R plus 6 times negative 4 is going to equal negative 18. So 3R minus 24 is going to equal negative 18. I'm going to add 24 to both sides. 3R is going to equal 6. Divide both sides by 3. R is going to equal 2. So now I have two answers. I'm going to take it and plug it back into one of these originals. And it does not matter at this point. So let's go ahead and pick equation 3. So equation 3, R minus 5S plus 3T is going to equal negative 15. R we know is 2. We need to solve for S, so that's our unknown. And T is negative 4, and that's going to all equal negative 15. So combining like terms, 2 minus 12 is going to give me a negative 10, minus 5S, which equals negative 15, adding 10 to both sides. Coming up here, negative 5S is going to equal negative 5, dividing both sides by negative 5. S is going to equal 1. So your final answer is going to be 2, 1, negative 4. Last example. We have negative 2x minus 3y minus z equals negative 13. X minus 5y minus z equals negative 9. negative 3x minus 2y plus 4z equals 16. Again, first things first, number your equations. So looking at this, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate, let's eliminate z. I'm going to do that by picking equation 1 and equation 3 to start off with. So equation 1 is negative 2x minus 3y minus z equals negative 13. And equation 3 is negative 3x minus 2y plus 4z equals 16. So in order to eliminate z, I'm going to multiply this equation by 4. That's going to give me this new equation of negative 8x minus 12y minus 4z, and that's going to equal negative 52. So adding those two equations together, my z's are going to cancel. Negative 3x minus 8y is negative 11x. Negative 2y minus 12y is negative 14y. And 16 minus 52 is negative 36. And that becomes equation 4. So again, I'm going to pick two different equations and eliminate the z again. So I picked equations 1 and 3. We can go ahead and pick equations 2 and 3. So equation 2 is x minus 5y minus z equals negative 9. And negative 3x minus 2y plus 4z is going to equal 16. Again, doing the same thing, I'm going to multiply that second equation by a 4. So that's going to give me 4x minus 20y minus 4z equals negative 36. And then adding those together, we get x minus 22y, and my z's are going to cancel, and that's going to equal negative 20. And that becomes equation 5. So now I want to combine equations 4 and equations 5. Equation 4 and equation 5. So negative 11x minus 14y equals negative 36. And x minus 22y is going to equal negative 20. So I can cancel out my x easily. I'm going to multiply it by 11. So as I said, I'm really OCD when it comes to these, so I'm going to rewrite negative 11x minus 14y equals negative 36. And then multiplying, we have 11x minus 242y, and that's going to equal 220, negative 220. So my x's are going to cancel. Negative 14 minus 242 is negative 256y. And then negative 36 and negative 220 is negative 256. So dividing both sides by negative 256, y is going to equal 1. From there, I'm going to take it and plug it into either equation 4 or equation 5. I'm going to pick equation 5 because x is already by itself. So we have x minus 22y equals negative 20. X minus 22 times 1 is going to equal negative 20. I'm going to add 22 to both sides. X is going to end up equaling negative 2, or positive 2. X is going to equal positive 2. From there, now that I have those two, I'm going to go ahead and plug it back into an original. So x minus 5y minus z equals negative 9. I know that x is 2. I know that y is 1. I need to find z. So we have 2 minus 5 minus z equals negative 9. Negative 3 minus z is going to equal negative 9. So negative 3 minus z equals negative 9. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Negative z is going to equal negative 6. And z is going to end up equaling 6. So your final answer is 216. Your homework is posted on Schoology. If you have any questions, let me know.